fellow travelers, welcome back to the adventures of a traveling Don. Benjamin O here, and we are off on a hike today. First hiking video of the season, and we are going to be doing it on the west side, on the quiet side, just like I did in my last video. However, this is an actual hike, not a nature walk. The two mountains we're gonna hit is Acadia Mountain and St. Sauveur. They're beautiful mountains that are right along the west side of the Sommes Sound. So you're gonna get great views of the Somme once we get up there. But let's go ahead and get on this adventure, and let's get to hiking. So one of the things that you learn when you start getting into hiking, particularly within the national parks, one of the things to always look out for is right up here, these blue paint markers. That's basically to tell you where the trail is at, because not all of these are just kind of like full lined out trails. Like, as you can see, there is like a path through the trees, but it's not always, you can have moments where you're like, wait, which way am I going? Particularly once you get to the rocky areas, or you get to the top of the mountain, you're like, it all kind of blends in together. So always look for the blue markers, and that is the sign that you are on the trail, even if there's not an actual trail and it's just kind of like a forest walk or up and down rocks. So always keep a lookout for the blue markers if you're starting to get lost about where the trail is at. So just thought I'd spin out that little bit of hiking knowledge, at least here in the national parks in the United States. So, all right, onwards. Okay, about halfway up, just stopped on this big old rock to kind of get a nice view of the area. Whew. I'm definitely out of shape if I'm only halfway up of a 0.6 or 0.8 mile hike and I'm already breathing. But I mean, it does get pretty steep with the steps and whatnot, but ooh, definitely got to get more into the bigger hikes, get myself in shape this summer. But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a little look around. It's kind of like I said, it's the quiet side, just like in the last video, which I'll leave a link in the description for, when I did my top 5 non-hike quiet side spots. It's, as you can hear, nobody out here. Even Acadia Mountain, which is one of the more popular places on the quiet side to come hiking, because it is spread out and big, when you combine the two mountains together. Right now, I haven't ran into anybody so far halfway up the hike. So definitely a great spot to kind of have a quiet getaway hike away from all the craziness that's Acadia National Park during August. So, all right, to continue on. While the Sommes Sound is the place that's kind of like the big attraction for Acadia and St. Sauveur, at least with like the backdrop, you can get snippets while you're climbing the mountains of Echo Lake, which is this beautiful lake that's on the west side, just kind of surrounded by the mountains, both here on Acadia side and then Beach Mountain on the other side. Absolutely stunning lake. Definitely worth the look. We'll probably go there at some point in another video when I do a video maybe about the lakes and rivers of Mount Desert Island. But it's a wonderful spot for kayaking. And yeah, as you climb up the mountain, you can definitely see little snippets of it and get some nice pictures through the trees. So, all right, onward again. Okay, so we're pretty much at the peak. It's actually a little bit up that way, but this is kind of the outlook area that gives you the best view of this side of the island. You have, a little bit further ways, we'll see the Somme, but you have, of course, Bass Harbor in the distance, and then you have, as you pan around, you'll see Beach Mountain, which if you can barely see it, you have the fire tower over there, which is really, really kind of cool. We'll definitely get up there in another video soon. And then, of course, you just see the rest of the island, snippets of Echo Lake over the trees, and of course the mainland in the background, and then back to the peak. So it is a glorious, glorious spot to get a nice view of the west side of the island. So, but anyway, all right, on to the peak, and then on to see the Sommes Sound. Okay, so I've made it to the peak of Acadia Mountain, as you can see. 681 feet in elevation, not too bad. A few spots where you have to scramble up rocks or it gets a little steep of a climb, but it's a pretty quick hike from base floor to here. With me stopping and shooting, it's about half an hour. You could easily do it in about 20 minutes or so. So not too bad. And of course it gives you breathtaking views of the Somme, which of course has the Cranberry Islands in the distance. You have Southwest Harbor, and of course another beautiful vista of the west side of the island, including Beach Mountain and whatnot. Now, if you're curious about what the Somme is, Sommes Sound is a sound that's named after Abraham Somme, or Sommes. Don't know the pronunciation sometimes. But Abraham Sommes was one of the first settlers on MDI, and he actually founded the town of Sommesville, which is the very first town and settlement on the island itself. I believe that was in like 1760s, 1770s was when he came up here and founded Sommesville. So very, very old town. But the Sound is basically this body of water that almost cuts the island in half. It is considered a fjord. If you didn't know what that was, it's similar to a fjord, which is kind of like a in Norway and Sweden. They have these fjords, which are high relief cliffs that have bodies of water that go through them. A fjord is different, where the fjord is where it has lower cliffs and more of like a valley shape style along the water. So that's basically our little fjord is the Sommes Sound. So hope that was a little educational for you. But anyway, onwards to down to get some better views of the Sound, and then up to St. Sauveur, and then back to the parking lot. So let's continue on. So about halfway between Acadia Mountain and Sauveur, kind of like in the middle of the valley, there is this like beautiful little creek that kind of comes down and then goes under the walkway and then just heads down, you know, towards the ocean. But it's a kind of a nice little spot, and what's kind of cool is just listen. It's like a great place to just sit and relax, have a drink of water or something, and just kind of, you know, in between the two mountains, just get a little sense of the nature out here. It's absolutely gorgeous, like this whole wooded area. But it is just listening to the water, that sound. These little waterfalls. It's nothing better, nothing better. Alrighty, continuing on. Okay, back home, changed up. Sorry I didn't get to do the whole thing on top of St. Sauveur. I was able to get some peak shots, and of course, thing of the peak sign. Battery ended up running out, so I do apologize about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the hike up to Acadia, the hike down, and then of course all the way up as much as I was able to get of St. Sauveur, and of course that whole area of the Sommes Sound. So I hope you guys enjoyed the views. I hope you guys enjoyed the hike, and I will see you guys on the next adventure. Alrighty, fellow Travel Dons, have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Alright, peace.